Hi everyone, this is the Weather Hazard Briefing from the National Weather Service office here in Pocatello, Idaho for Monday, May 15th. Our unsettled weather pattern continues as we go through the week ahead with more showers and thunderstorms, especially during the afternoon and early evening hours. And of course, warmer temperatures means more melting snow. We'll continue to see some of the same flooding concerns we've seen, but also see some of our river levels increasing as we warm up a bit more this week and do more of that snow melt up higher from the mountains. So some of the key points, again, showers and thunderstorms expected pretty much every day this week. This afternoon, though, for Monday, we're looking at some gusty winds up to about 50 miles per hour or so. Some small hail also possible with some of the storms that get going. Temperatures are going to continue to warm up in a pretty big way as we get through the week. Of course, like I mentioned, that leads to more snow melt and continued flooding, unfortunately. Right here is a look at satellite this morning. You can kind of see just that low pressure broadly spinning over almost parts of Oregon into western Idaho. Again, this is slowly going to just kind of keep spinning through the areas we go throughout the day today, bringing more moisture along with it. We've already had a few showers around early this morning, a couple rumbles of thunder, and then we'll see activity pick up a bit more as we get into the afternoon hours. As we get a little bit more heating of the day going, we'll see how some of the cloud cover early this morning could impact some of the energy that we get into the afternoon, but we'll still expect to see some showers and thunderstorms as we get into the second half of the day especially. So our weather risk outlook grid is going to look pretty similar, at least for the next several days. Again, parts of southeastern Idaho where we've seen some more of the impactful flooding. We'll continue to see some of the more impactful flooding there, but we'll, again, be keeping an eye on more of the rivers as we really warm up our temperatures this week and do a bit more of that melting of some of the snowpack left up in the mountains in the higher elevations. So showers and thunderstorms pretty much every single afternoon as we go through this week ahead. Here's a look at our high temperatures across the area today. You'll notice a lot of us in the 60s to 70s. Some of us in parts of the Magic Valley and Snake Plain going to be closing in on 80 degrees. Some of the cloud cover may limit that, but again, you get more of that sunshine throughout the day that helps warm things up, which will add some more fuel for thunderstorms as we get into this afternoon. Wind gusts outside of any storm activity, we're looking about 15 to 20 miles per hour for some of those stronger wind gusts, so not particularly windy by any means, but you'll notice the wind at times throughout the day today. So let's go ahead and look at one model's best interpretation for what some of those storms could look like as we go into this afternoon. Again, this is not set in stone by any means, but just kind of gives you an idea of some of that timing potentially. Again, it's as we go into the afternoon, when we start to warm things up, give a little bit more energy to the atmosphere, that we'll start to see those storms firing off, particularly through parts of the Magic Valley and Snake Plain, and then lifting northward as we kind of get into this evening, and then likely pushing a bit farther east then as we get closer to sunset. Again, once we get past sunset, these storms will start to lose some of that energy, and as we get into tonight, expect things to kind of calm down a little bit more and quiet down, and that'll basically be the pattern as we go through the week ahead. So you get under one of those thunderstorms, wouldn't be out of the question to pick up about 0.2 of an inch of rain, but again, that won't be necessarily a widespread blanket amount of rain. It kind of depends on the storm strength that passes over you. As far as temperatures, then, as we go through the rest of this week, by the time we get to tomorrow afternoon, Tuesday, a lot of us will warm up a couple more degrees, still a lot of 60s, but some more 70s popping up, and then even a few low 80s through, again, parts of the Magic Valley and even into the lower Snake Plain. Winds on Tuesday, very similar to our Monday, anywhere from about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Again, that's also going to be kind of the pattern as we go through the next few days. And then we just kind of hold temperatures steady as we get into Wednesday. 70s, some low 80s, very similar as we get into Thursday. Again, some of us warming up just a couple more degrees. But honestly, each afternoon, aside from some of the positions of some of the thunderstorms we see pop up, basically a carbon copy of each other. By the time we get to Friday, though, we're looking to see some warmer temperatures making their way into the area, even warmer than where we'll be for the rest of the week. with more of us making it into the upper 70s to low and even potentially some mid 80s as we get into Friday afternoon. Let's go ahead and look at some of our river gauges across parts of the area. This is not an exhaustive list of those by any means, but just highlighting a few of them. The Blackfoot Reservoir near Henry, again, that is still in our minor flood stage, expected to stay there. You'll notice here the Bear River, near the Idaho-Wyoming border, that is still in minor flood stage and expected to rise as we go through the next several days. So again, a lot of that upper level snow that we have through parts of southeastern Idaho has been warm things up this week. We're going to start to see more of that melting off. That's why we're expecting to see some of these rises on our rivers across a good portion of the area. Again, while temperatures have been warmer down here in the valleys, we haven't quite gotten that warm up in the higher elevations, but it looks like this week we will be able to do that. One of the other spots, the Big Wood River near Hailey, that is hovering right around minor flood stage. That'll likely actually reach that through its kind of diurnal cycle very early Monday morning. But then as we kind of get into Monday evening and Monday night into Tuesday, expected to be into more of that solidly minor flood stage and expect to stay there and then keep rising as we go through the week again as we melt more of that upper level mountain snow. So we currently have a flood advisory out for that. Would not be surprised to see that upgrade to a flood warning later on today. The Marsh Creek near McCammon, again, that is holding pretty steady for now. We'll be keeping an eye on that one, especially as we go through the week ahead. Again, continue more of that snow melt. And here is a look at the Portneuf River at Topaz, also in that minor flood stage and expected to stay there as we go through the week ahead. Rise just a bit, not quite as much as some of the others, but again, you'll see a little bit of an impact due to more of that snow melt, and then of course any rain that we get from thunderstorms. It's got to go somewhere too. Most of that into the rivers as the ground is fairly saturated across the area, but we still have a couple of dry pockets here and there. In summary, we're going to see more showers and thunderstorms pretty much each afternoon into the early evening as we go through the week ahead. As far as today, mainly looking at some wind gusts up to about 50 miles per hour or so. Some small hail also possible. And then temperatures are going to continue to warm up as we go through this week, which means more snowmelt and continued flooding. Of course, we always appreciate any reports, whether that be from thunderstorms or from any flooding that you see. You can send us those via email. Give us a phone call. Of course, social media is a great place too. If you can safely take pictures and tag us, we always appreciate that. Otherwise, have a great day.